You feel it, don't you? That deep, aching sense that something is fundamentally wrong. You're not living the life you were meant to live. You're a ghost in your own story, going through the motions, smiling at the right times, saying the right things. But inside, you're screaming. You feel disconnected, fragmented, and haunted by a pain that has no name. In the next few minutes, the ghost of Carl Jung is going to hand you a lantern and a map. You will gain the power to descend into the underworld of your own psyche and find the lost pieces of your soul. You will learn to see your pain not as a curse, but as a compass, pointing you back to the person you were always meant to be. And you'll soon know the difference between the life you are living and the life that is trying to be lived through you. You will learn not just how to stop the pain, but how to use it as a portal to a life of wholeness, of purpose, and of radical, unapologetic authenticity. We need to have a very honest conversation, because you are not just unhappy. You are in a state of spiritual emergency. The life you are living is a lie, a carefully constructed, socially acceptable, and soul-crushing lie. And the pain you are feeling, the anxiety, the depression, the chronic fatigue, the nameless dread, that is not a sign that you are broken. It is a sign that you are waking up. It is the cry of your own buried soul, begging you to stop, to listen, to come home. Carl Jung, the great pioneer of the human soul, had a name for this. He called it the process of individuation. It is the journey from the false self to the true self. It is the process of becoming who you were, always meant to be, before the world told you who you should be. But this journey is not a gentle sunlit path. It is a descent into the darkness of your own unconscious, into the parts of yourself that you have denied, repressed, and abandoned. Therefore, the pain you are feeling is not the problem. It is the path. It is the call to adventure. And you have been ignoring the call for a very, very long time. Think about your life. How many of your choices have been truly your own? Your career, your relationships, your values, your beliefs. How much of it was chosen by you? And how much of it was chosen for you? By your parents, by your culture, by your fear of not fitting in. You have been living as a character in a play that you did not write. You have been wearing a mask, a persona, that is so convincing, you have forgotten it is a mask. You have become the good son, the perfect daughter, the successful professional, the supportive partner. You have played your part so well that you have forgotten who you are without the costume, without the script. But the soul will not be silenced forever. It will speak. At first, it will whisper. In your dreams, in your moments of quiet dissatisfaction, in that feeling that something is missing, if you ignore the whispers, it will start to shout. In your anxiety attacks, in your bouts of depression, in your mysterious physical illnesses. And if you ignore the shouts, it will start to burn your life to the ground. The relationship will end. You will lose the job. You will have the breakdown. This is not a punishment. This is a rescue mission. Your soul is trying to save you from a life that is too small for it. It is trying to force you to confront the truth that you are living a life that is not your own. This is not easy work. It will be messy. It will be confusing. You may not like what you find. You may uncover rage and grief and shame that feels bottomless. That is part of the process. The goal is not to feel good. The goal is to get real. The goal is to become whole. And wholeness is not the absence of darkness. It is the integration of it. It is the ability to hold both the light and the dark, the saint and the sinner, the hero and the villain, within the compassionate embrace of your own awareness. And here is the secret that no one ever told you. The pain that you are so afraid of, the pain that you have spent your entire life trying to avoid, is a portal. It is the doorway to your own liberation. And that is what we need to talk about now. Most of us spend our lives running from pain. We medicate it. We distract ourselves from it. We numb it. We deny it. We have been taught to see pain as an enemy, as a sign of failure, as something to be eliminated at all costs. But what if this is the single greatest misunderstanding of our lives? What if pain is not the enemy? What if pain is the guide? What if the very thing you are running from is the only thing that can save you? Therefore, as long as you are trying to get rid of your pain, it will own you, it will chase you, it will haunt you, and it will control you. But the moment you stop running, the moment you turn around and face it, it begins to transform. Jung saw suffering not as a mistake, but as a sacred summons, a call to transformation. Your pain is the signal that something inside you is broken, that something is out of alignment, that a part of your soul is crying out for your attention. Every pain carries a message. Every anguish is a code. And your task is not to kill the messenger, but to have the courage to read the message. Think about the most significant moments of growth in your life. Did they happen when you were comfortable, safe, and happy? Or did they happen in the midst of a crisis, a heartbreak, a failure? It is in the chaos that the soul begins to reorganize. It is in the darkness that the psyche begs for reconstruction. It is in the heart of the pain that true transformation is born. Jung said that suffering must be experienced to the end, and only then can it be overcome. You cannot bypass the underworld. You have to go through it. Let's make this real. Imagine a person who has spent their life as a people pleaser, always smiling, always agreeable, always saying yes when they mean no. Gradually, they begin to feel a crushing anxiety, an inexplicable sadness, a profound fatigue. They go to the doctor, they get a prescription, they try to fix the symptoms, but the symptoms are not the disease. The disease is a life of self-betrayal. And the anxiety, the sadness, the fatigue, these are not the enemy. They are the loyal soldiers of the soul, sent to stop this person from continuing down a path that is killing them. The pain is a loving intervention. It is a demand that this person finally, for the first time, learn to say no to the world so that they can say yes to themselves. Or think about the person who is trapped in an addiction. They hate the addiction. They are ashamed of it. They fight against it. But the addiction is just a symptom. The addiction is a desperate attempt to numb a deeper pain. The pain of trauma, of loneliness, of a life without meaning. And to simply try to stop the addiction without addressing the underlying pain is like trying to fix a leaking roof by putting a bucket under the drip. You are not solving the problem. You are just managing the mess. The only way to heal the addiction is to have the courage to feel the pain that it is medicating, to go into the wound, to grieve the loss, to face the emptiness, and in that facing to find a new source of comfort, of connection, of meaning, a source that comes not from a bottle or a screen or a substance, but from within. Your pain is not a punishment. It is a privilege. It is the sign that you are still alive, that your soul is still fighting for you. It is the raw material of your own becoming. And the choice is yours. You can continue to run from it, to numb it, to distract yourself from it. And in doing so, you will remain a prisoner of your own unlived life. Or you can turn towards it. You can honor it. You can listen to it. You can allow it to break you open to a strength you did not know you had, to a compassion you did not know you were capable of, to a life that is more real, more authentic, and more magnificently, beautifully, and unapologetically you than you ever dared to imagine. This is the sacred alchemy of the soul. It is the process of turning the lead of your suffering into the gold of your own, unique, and irreplaceable being. And it is the only work that truly matters. So, what now? You've faced your shadow. You've started to listen to your pain. How do you actually begin to integrate these lost parts of yourself and build a new life? This is not about a quick fix. This is about a new way of being. It is about cultivating a set of inner skills, of psychological muscles that will allow you to navigate the rest of your life with a new sense of wholeness and integrity. First, you must become a master of boundaries. Your lack of boundaries is what allowed your soul to be colonized in the first place. You said yes when you meant no. You tolerated disrespect. You put the needs of others before your own. A boundary is not a wall. It is a gate. It is a conscious, deliberate decision about what you will allow into your life and what you will not. You need to start practicing the sacred art of saying no. No to the job that is draining your soul. No to the relationship that is diminishing you. No to the social obligation that feels like a performance. Every time you say a clear, compassionate no to something that is not aligned with your soul, you are saying a powerful, resounding yes to yourself. You are reclaiming your own sacred ground. Second, you must cultivate a practice of radical self-compassion. You are going to stumble. You are going to fall back into old patterns. You are going to have days where you feel like a complete failure. This is part of the process. The voice of your inner critic, the voice of your conditioning, will be loud. It will tell you that you are not doing it right, that you are not good enough, that you should just give up. You must learn to meet that voice with a fierce and unwavering compassion. You must learn to talk to yourself the way you would talk to a beloved friend who is struggling. You are not a project to be fixed. You are a human being to be held. And the more you can hold yourself in a space of unconditional love and acceptance, the more you will have the strength to continue the journey. Third, you must find your tribe. You cannot do this work alone. You have been isolated by your pain, by your shame, by your mask. Now, you must find the people who see you, who get you, who can hold the space for your becoming. This might be a therapist, a coach, a support group, or a few trusted friends. You need to find the people who are also on this journey, the people who are not afraid of the dark, the people who can celebrate your breakthroughs and hold you in your breakdowns. Your tribe is your mirror. They will reflect back to you the truth of who you are, especially when you have forgotten it yourself. And finally, you must create a life that is an expression of your own unique soul. The pain began because you were living a life that was not yours. The healing comes when you start to build a life that is. This is a process of experimentation, of exploration, of play. What are you curious about? What brings you a sense of joy, of flow, of aliveness? It doesn't have to be your job. It could be a hobby, a passion project, a new way of being in the world. You need to start feeding your soul. You need to start creating small daily experiences of alignment, of authenticity, of joy. You are not just healing from the past. you are building a future that is a true and beautiful reflection of the person you have become. This is the great work. It is the work of a lifetime. It is the journey from being a victim of your own history to being the creator of your own destiny. It is messy. It is non-linear. It is the hardest thing you will ever do. But it is also the most rewarding. Because on the other side of this journey is not a perfect life, free from pain. It is something far better. It is a real life, a life that is yours. And that, my friend, is the only life worth living. Let's be absolutely clear. This journey of soul retrieval is not a one-time event. It is a lifelong practice. It is a commitment to a new way of living, a new way of being in relationship with yourself and with the world. There will be no graduation day, no certificate of completion. There will only be the ongoing, moment-by-moment choice to live in alignment with your own deepest truth. And this is where the real courage is required. Not just the courage to face the initial darkness, but the courage to keep showing up day after day, even when the initial inspiration has faded. The courage to choose the path of authenticity, even when the path of conformity is so much easier, so much more comfortable, so much more socially rewarded. The courage to disappoint others in order to not disappoint yourself. The courage to be misunderstood in order to be true. This is the path of the spiritual warrior. It is a path of immense discipline, of unwavering self-honesty, and of a radical and tender love for your own imperfect soul. It is the path of choosing, again and again, the terrifying freedom of the wilderness over the comfortable slavery of the cage. And what you will find as you walk this path is that your relationship with pain begins to fundamentally change. It is no longer your enemy. It is no longer a sign that you have done something wrong. It becomes your teacher, your ally, your most trusted guide. You learn to welcome the moments of discomfort, of confusion, of grief, because you know that these are the moments of the deepest transformation. You learn that the wound is the place where the light enters you, as the poet Rumi said. You learn that your scars are not a sign of your brokenness, but a testament to your resilience, to your courage, to your capacity to heal. And something else begins to happen. As you become more whole, more integrated, more yourself, you begin to attract a different kind of reality. A reality that is a reflection of your own inner state. You attract people who are also on this journey. You attract work that is an expression of your own unique gifts. You attract a life that is not just a series of random events, but a meaningful, coherent, and beautiful story. A story that you are not just living, but co-creating with the universe itself. This is the promise. It is not a promise of a life without pain. It is a promise of a life with meaning. A life where your pain is not a random, meaningless affliction, but a sacred and powerful part of your own, unique and magnificent story. A story of a soul that was lost, and then, through its own courage, its own resilience, and its own unwavering commitment to the truth, found its way home. So, I ask you, are you ready to come home? Are you ready to answer the call? Are you ready to begin the great and glorious work of becoming who you were always meant to be? The journey is long. The path is not always clear. But you are not alone. You have the wisdom of the ages within you. You have the courage of a lion in your heart. And you have a soul that is so vast, so beautiful, and so powerful that it can hold the entire universe. All you have to do is say yes. Yes to the pain. Yes to the darkness. Yes to the journey. Yes to yourself.